Oh, maybe now. Oh, maybe now. All right, there we go. All right, guys. Let me know if you can hear me now. Excellent, Scott. Thank you. How you feeling, Scott? Oh, that's mine. That's mine. Yeah, it could be yours. We're gonna just wait a few more minutes, get some folks going here. Well, it's better than nothing. All right, we're live. How many weeks since you've had it? Off the oxygen. God bless you, man. Damn. Yeah. So, all right. A few minutes, guys. We'll get going here. Just give us a few minutes. I know it's a little past the hour already. All right, guys, let's get going. So let me do my regular disclaimer. This is not an offer of securities. We might be talking about August 4th. Wow, this is progressing fast. 2 weeks. Um, we might be talking about syndications. We might be talking about crowd funds. We might be talking about tenants in common. We might be talking about first position loans, second position loans, joint ventures. None of this, of course, it means we're soliciting for any of those things. You want to be solicited, you want to build a relationship with us, you're going to reach out to Brian Barrow. Okay, moving forward here. Help us ring the bell. As you can tell, we're no longer on Zoom here and we're cross platform. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you could please hit the subscribe button and set your notifications, that would be awesome. If you can do that, and I promise you by the end of the week, we'll figure out where our contest is for the next 6 weeks for all the new subscribers. We do have an affiliate program we work with Banner Season. What is the hardest thing in this business to find and the easiest thing to lose? It's an investor. It's a private lender. And once we come to that realization in our business, then you take a step back and realize that the only time you ever talk to your investors or your private lenders is when you need something. And they start feeling a sense of indifference coming from you. This becomes your problem. And all of a sudden, when you think you had lined up a first position loan and it's no longer there, it's because you didn't stay in touch during your last flip, during your last investment. We want to hold on to our clients. We want to hold on to our investors. We want to hold on to our lenders. And we do that through Banner Season. If you want, talk about it for 5 minutes on how to work it into your system so you get private lenders and investors. It's hypercritical. Text banner to 281-401-9008. 281-401-9008. We talked this weekend, Jason. We had a little meeting for our mastermind, and we've got folks. We've got a step by step process.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some folks who are trying to just jump ahead. Like they haven't done step 2, 3, and 4, but they want to jump to step 7.
Yeah, buy houses. Like there's a little.
Right, they're going to totally pass that and move right
Yeah.
on to small apartments. And I'm like, well, what relationship do you have with your bankers? And they're like, well, can you give me an introduction? I was like, I can, but it's worthless.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, you've got to set that relationship. It's incredibly hard now with COVID because you could go do lunches, you could go do coffee, you could go to their charity events. But these days, there's none of that. And so it's really hard to start building a relationship with the sort of second tier lenders, these local banks and credit unions.
Mm-hmm.
And the process becomes very arduous. It's 3 months to kind of get that first loan done.
Yeah.
And you haven't started that relationship. And I'm telling them, you've got to start phone calling these people, getting some good calls going. And then if you have a billable report and you think you found the bank, send them a box of brownies, send them a thank you card, and get them into a system where they stay top of mind for the next 12 months. And folks just don't realize how important that is in our business. They think, hey, I got the gold, and people are going to give me the money, and every guru told me I just go stand in front of the quest room and I get all the money I want, right?
Yeah, not how that works.
Yeah, it's not how it works. So make sure you're reaching out to us about that. Guys, we have a great opportunity coming. We've already got 8 people signed up with another 2 or 3 coming in the next few days. We're talking here, of course, about EXP. A little bit different than how other folks across the country might be doing it. We have set up an EXP network for real estate investors. That is our group. That is the Club 45 with Mr. Texas Real Estate. We want to work with 45 of the best agents in town who work very specifically with investors. Now, they still should do some retail, they still should do some buying and selling, but we really want to focus on working with our VIP investors. Again, we had Casey on, dropped in on the mastermind. He's ready to go. He just needs someone who can basically hold his hand, show him the marketplace, give him the good data, and he's sitting in California. He's not going to come to Texas and do this stuff, but he can certainly get as much liquid assets to buy properties as he needs. And so we need some folks to join our Club 45 and start working with some of our VIP clients and really start buying some things. Now, if you're in Nueces County, we have our first Nueces County agent coming on board. If you're in Nueces County, we have a very special offer for you. I will personally pay for your marketing for the first 6 months so that you can start getting a nice little groundswell and start getting some leads. We have lots of buyers ready to go in that marketplace. We'll probably deploy over $100 million, I'd say, in the next 2 to 3 years. So it's not a bad little business down there. We just need agents. And I think I'm looking for about 5 or 6 to work with, and you can build out your own little groups underneath of you. But I want five core agents that I can trust down there, that I can turn over to VIPs. You can buy stuff for Mr. Texas Real Estate, buy stuff for our mastermind, buy stuff for the VIPs. And we think, based on what we do, you've got solid work for the next 5 to 8 years. So if you're interested in that, text 281-401-9008, Club 45. We have our next big presentation, August 27th, 9 p.m. We're going to show you our closings over the next 5 years, how to qualify, what's in it for you, building out that network down there. Whew. All right, like I said, if you want to invest with on our crowdfunding, go ahead and talk to Brian. All right, now you've got the screen share.
Oh, my turn?
Yep, you have the screen share button available.
Let me see here.
And I'm gonna hang on, folks. We're switching over.
My screen.
Are you unmute it?
Let me look.
I must use. Oh, looks like it's working. Sorry about that. All right, good to go here.
You're good.
Post in the chat if you can hear me.
Wow.
So, all right. California set to pass nation's first wealth tax. They've been targeting the ultra rich. So you're going to find some numbers in here that Rob and I have talked about before. So let's go down to the whole idea here is that you're going to calculate what your wealth is if you live in California, and then they're going to tax it. This is what I find really interesting. The proposed tax rate would be 0.4% of net wealth, excluding directly held real estate that exceeds $30 million for single and joint filers and $15 million for married filing separately. So what was our number, Rob, when we first started?
30 million.
30 million. Yeah. Ultra wealth starts at 30. You're below 30, you're doing pretty good. But 30 million is where it really starts. Fascinating stuff in here. But this is what I really wanted to hone in on. There was some good news. Directly held real estate mortgages and other liabilities secured by directly held real property would not be considered in calculating taxpayers' worldwide net worth. Now, isn't that interesting? Why would they want you to you live in California. They want to know what your net worth is. Why would they want you to put together a schedule of real estate even though you won't be taxed on it? So they can tax you on in the future.
Yeah.
That's really what this is.
Yeah.
Next time around, this thing will expand. So I love California. The food there's amazing. The weather's spectacular.
It is.
But you need to get the hell out. Because this is about to hit some guys big time. It doesn't take long for it to slip from 30 million to 10 million.
So, on a tangent.
Yeah.
I was in the pool yesterday just relaxing after whatever. And Catherine was there, and I said, where do you like better? Living in Texas or living in California? Without skipping a beat. She's like, Texas.
Really?
I'm like, oh.
Oh, okay.
Why? She's like, people are better here.
Ah.
I'm like, got it. I was like, well, what about the weather? She's like, well, again, not skipping a beat. California.
Yeah.
I was like, California.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, well, what if we just move there for 4 or 5 months a year? It's like, I would do that.
That's perfect. Yeah.
To avoid this. She's like, well, this has got to be where we live. I'm like, oh, interesting. So Catherine's a Texan now.
Yeah. June through September, I'm not a big fan of this state.
Not at all. Yeah.
It's just, especially recently, if you guys are, those of y'all in Houston, it was 90 degrees before 8:30 yesterday morning. And it was 100, it was still 100 degrees at 6:30, which is not that bad, but for the fact that it's 95% humidity, right? So.
Well, I mean, but here's what will happen is, so we're going to enjoy California 5 months out of the year. We'll never be a resident there.
Yeah.
Nor will we pay any of these taxes, right?
Right. That's, well, and we know some certain people that own certain large companies that live in Vegas.
Yep.
What is it, 183 days a year?
They live in Vegas, 108. No, they live in Vegas 190 days a year.
190 days.
So there's no mistake.
No mistake there. And then the rest of their days, they live in Southern California.
Yep.
And they ain't the only rich guy that does that. There'll be a lot more guys that do it too. So, all right. I love this story.
Look at this.
I love this story. It's my favorite story right now because everybody, the haters, were absolutely wrong, and Rob and I were right. Toot our own horn. Short-term rentals outperforming hotels. Why would you want to get an Airbnb? Because it's just like a hotel. It's just like owning a hotel, but it's only one room. So that's true, but for the fact that data tells a completely different story. The decrease in hotel revenue occurred despite the fact that the hotel average daily rate increased 32% in that period compared to 23% increase in the average daily rate for the one-bedroom studio rental on AirDNA. Hotel revenue per available room was down 65%, yet Airbnb was up. People do not want to stay in hotels. They want to stay in a home. So you guys can read through the rest of this thing. Really, this is just an advertisement for a company that helps you collect hotel tax. What else do they call that tax? The conference tax, all that stuff. Airbnb does it automatically, but there's a company here for VRBO that helps them out. But this is the real story here, and that is hotels are getting brutally just beaten to death, and Airbnbs are doing just fine. So this is another see I told you so. I'm thinking about emailing this to a couple of my haters. Anyways, builder confidence skyrockets, matching 1988 record. This is surprising given the cost of lumber has jumped 100% in the last year. So builders are all in right now because of the price of homes. And they really are pretty chipper about their future prospects. Notice the shift in housing demand to suburbs, exurbs, and rural markets as renters and buyers seek out more affordable, lower density markets. I'm going to talk about that here in about a minute or two. But it's much easier to build in the burbs. Exurb is a funny term. Exurb really means infill, which is a pejorative in real estate, to be honest with you. So exurb is the place between the suburbs and the rural markets, which used to be called infill, but that sounds too much like landfill, I guess. So they changed it to exurb. Anyways, so that's just if you ever go back and see that anywhere, that's what that means. Non-QM is getting a return, and so is Veris Mortgage Capital. The top investor of non-QM loans pre-pandemic is once again actively investing in new origination and scratch and dent. Let me tell you what scratch and dent is. Scratch and dent is non-performing. That's what that means. So now the largest investor in non-QM is back in. In fact, they've completed 4 securitizations across 50 states, including loans up to 90% loan to value, cash outs up to 500 grand, 12 and 24 month, and alternative documentation, and foreign national. The non-QM market was originally created to help consumers who didn't qualify for traditional mortgage, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? At the end of the day, non-QM's back.
So we are seeing, because we just went over that this weekend too, just got new updates on Friday. Talked to our mastermind students on Saturday morning, gave them the updates. Some of them already started moving. Realistically, for non-QM, you're looking at 2 to 2.5 points, 6%.
Yeah.
Which is perfect.
Which is great.
It's absolutely perfect. If it could be 2 points and 5.75, we're back to where we were in December.
Are they letting you buy anything down, or is that the lowest they'll go? I can't imagine they'll let you go much lower.
We haven't looked at buying down anything because it's long term, so we really don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
At 6%.
And we're going to sell in 6 or 7 years anyway. So
yeah, so we haven't looked at it. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can buy it down half. I'm sure it's a point for every 0.5%.
Yeah, or a point for a quarter, a
point for
a half, something like that.
Well, why do it?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So that's the non-QM is back, and then we found a second non-QM lender now to do Airbnb.
Oh, now there's 2 of them.
Now there's 2, yeah.
Interesting.
More portfolios came on board. So it's all moving. We're almost back, guys. The difference here is going to be 2 things. 1, loan to cost, and 2, 3, 6, or 12 months prepayments.
Yeah. Which tells me that the wizards of smart don't believe this will last more than 12 months.
Yes.
So that's what sucks. So non-QM is, I firmly believe this. You can add this as a prediction that once the United States is back 100%, the economy is open. Kids are back in school. All the states are open 100%. We're going to get a deluge of non-QM products. I think the rates are going to come down just a little bit. They might be 2 or 3 points above prime.
Yep.
Maybe like 2 points above prime. And they're going to offer all kinds of products. No doc, low doc, like you can see here, 12, 24 month. I think there's going to be all kinds of different products out there. It's coming. They're going to get real competitive because guess what? Debt is cheap and there's a crap ton of it. So I can see that coming.
Yeah, debt is cheap, and people need a place to park their money.
That's right. Home buyer interest in rural area rises. Prices are up 11% in July. It's crazy. So let's talk about what the difference between rural, suburban, and urban is. And this is a great. Let me show you this quote here. I got to find his. Here we go. All right. I've never been busier in my entire career, said Abby Welts, a Redfin agent in Snohomish County, Washington.
Nice.
About 20 miles north of Seattle. All right, I've been there.
Why? How would that be?
What do you mean?
Why would people be moving out of Seattle?
Yeah, well, why would you be moving out of Seattle as this city burns? So that's actually where it's not Tacoma. What's north of Everett is in Snohomish County. And so people will say crazy stuff like, "Oh, Jason, people are going to move out of Houston into like Brookshire." And I'm like, "No, that's not what's happening." People live in Seattle. They move to Snohomish County. You know what a house in it's a 1,500 square foot house with like a 5,000 square foot lot. It's like living in the Heights.
Right.
But the weather's better and there's an ocean. So this is where people are moving. They're not moving to, middle of nowhere. They're not building a bunker. They're not getting 100 acres. You hear people talk about country homes. They're not building a country home. They're moving out of Seattle and moving into a suburb of Seattle. It's like living in Houston and moving to the Woodlands, Katy, Pearland, Sugarland, Cypress. This is not, if you hear people say, "Oh, they're moving out to get acreage," they're not reading the data. They're not understanding what's really going on in the marketplace. This is rural and suburban. Snohomish County is. It really is suburban, partly rural, but it's a very suburban kind of area of the country. So that's where everything is going right now.
Like Cyprus 10 years ago.
It's exactly what it is. It's a little version of Cyprus. So here's your mortgage rates for the day. You can see rates are coming up just a little bit, but they're still insanely cheap. So go get your mortgage, guys. Don't sit around here and wait. If you're talking about 5 3/4%, you're only on a 30-year fixed. You're only 2 points above, 2.5 points above prime. So that's a great rate. This is very interesting article. In the everything rally, diversification is the new 4-letter word. And my favorite quote from this: "When the money is free, under those conditions, no asset price can be too high."
Tesla.
Yeah. So if you think real estate's expensive now, just wait. I'm missing an article. There was another article I wanted. Let me see if I can pull it back up.
Tesla's pushing in on 1,800. It's up 137 points today.
That's insane.
8% increase today.
I missed an article here. I wanted to talk about, short terms, San Francisco, who cares, Fannie Mae, blah, 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 who cares, GSEs. There was another article I wanted to talk about, but I missed it somewhere. I don't know where it went. Maybe it was in, give me 2 seconds here, guys.
Yeah, if you have any questions, guys, start lining them up. We can see you cross-platform here. Tonight is the Airbnb Q&A. I sent the link out, so if you haven't signed up for that, go right ahead.
Where did it go? That was all Friday. There was a great article. Maybe it was in here and I just missed it. Who cares? Training and conferences, investor notes, blah, blah, blah. That's all boring stuff. I had another. I wanted to talk. Yeah, I guess that's all I got. I had another article I wanted to talk about, but it disappeared on me. It was inside another article. Short-term rentals. don't know if you guys can hear my laptop. It sounds like it's going to explode.
Humming along.
I know. Jeez. This is what's crazy.
Look at that.
It's just single-family housing authorizations rose 6.43%. It's just it's built that we're building so we can't get houses up fast enough. It's just ridiculous.
There is still some good infill in Houston, unlike the coastal markets, right?
Oh, there absolutely is.
So there's still a lot of infill, which makes it much easier just to tie into the city sewer and water and electric. It's all right there, gas. That makes it super easy, which is why I guess a lot of people are scraping. And you can, I'm not sure how long we got $100 a square foot left here.
Yeah. I mean, we can't
Start climbing out of that.
There we go. I turned off screen share. It's not going to get cheaper anytime soon.
Nope.
And I just don't see it. It's going to be. You think real estate's expensive now? We can go pull up hard and pull up a ton of little markets that have had this extreme, increase in values. It's just incredible. So. That's all I got, Rob. Unless you got any other commentary.
No, I know. Tonight is Airbnb Q&A 9 p.m. That will be on Zoom again for the rest of the month, and then we're switching everything over. But that'll be up there. Please again, if you can go to YouTube and subscribe to the Texas Real Estate Radio Network, that would be awesome. That will be our focus here over the next 30 days. So. If you guys don't have any questions, we will call it a day. Excellent, guys. Thank you all so very much. Thanks for sticking with us here on our first little broadcast on YouTube.